Hi there, good morning. I'm Raleigh Brown. I'm here with Charlie the dog. He's right behind me there. And for the moment, and another curve flattening concert. And the curve is apparently flattening a little bit right now, probably seasonally in part, since we've gotten past the winter holiday COVID rush. So, Dave Van Allen's here, Slim Edelman, Kathy Marzik, Audrey Bernheimer, Bob McKenna, Linda Worster, Carol Pred, Michael Anthony Wood, Charlie Bryant, Donna Greenberg, Heidi and Jerry, Bill Rubenstein, my good buddy, and Rhonda Scott Merrick and Terry St. James. That's a good start. And let's cloink, and even more people are coming in. I will cloink to you all after I stir my coffee. Michael Tierson is here, and my good friend Judy Wong up there in Massachusetts, and Aretta and Ron, and there we go. C.J. Clark. If you can't say it, you can at least read it. Clink. I'm on my third cup of high test for this morning. Probably a little too much. I'll probably have to lay off for the rest of the day, but for now it'll do. While riding on a train going west, I fell asleep for to take my rest. I dreamed a dream, and it made me sad concerning myself and the first few friends I had. With half-damp eyes, I stared to the room where my friends and I spent many an afternoon, where we together weathered many a storm, laughing and singing till the early hours of the morn. By the old wood stove our hats was hung, our tales was told and our songs was sung, where we longed for nothing and were quite satisfied, talking and a-joking about the wicked world outside. With haunted hearts through the heat and the cold, we never much thought we could get very old. We thought we could sit forever in fun, and our chances really, they was 1,000,000 to 1. And easy it was to tell black from white. It was all that easy to tell wrong from right. And our choices, they was few, for the thought never hid that the one road we travel would ever shatter or split. Now many a year is past and gone, many a gamble has been lost and won, and many a road taken by many a first friend, and each one I've never seen again. I wish in vain that we could sit simply in that room again. $10,000 at the drop of a hat, and I'd give it all gladly if our lives could be like that. Bob Dylan's Dream. What a great song. And I am truly thankful for all of the old friends like Bill Rubenstein who requested that song. All of the old friends who I still have and who we still on occasion get together and laugh and joke and sometimes even sing and talk. So many back up far enough to find out who they are. Karen Beatty and Ann Caston and Michael Miller and Rhonda Scott Merrick and Alex Bevan, my dear friend in Ohio, and Helene Tober Fowler, Deb Libby Clark, I think I said hi to, but I don't know. Warren and Janelle, Kate Mack, all my besties here. David Arthur Ratcliffe over there in the UK. And Kathy Marzik and Donna Greenberg and Marlene Burke, the acupuncture contingent checking in, and Lisa Mandel and Brian Kuiper and Debbie Moore. And so it goes. Linda Worster, Michael Tierson, Osling Bain. Hey, Osling, I haven't seen you in a little bit. Missy. And I don't want to spend too much time here, but I'm trying to say hi to everyone. Jill Chernick, my sister-in-law. Hi, Jill. And Eben Atwater out there in the West. Yeah, and Rhonda Scott Merrick says Visibil. Yes, he used to be Invisible Rubenstein, but now he's Visible Rubenstein. It's great. So the next tune-up is Shenandoah, my instrumental version of Shenandoah. And it's a request from Melissa Collard. I hope that's the way she pronounces her name. We had a long online talk about name pronunciation, and I never asked about her last name. So, but she sent me these presents in the mail, these very cool little microwavable pillows, aromatherapy pillows. They're lovely. But she also sent along a little robot. Ooh, I can go get him. Hang on. Now, I never watched Space Family Robinson or whatever it was called, so for me, this robot is Robbie the Robot from the 1958 maybe movie Forbidden Planet, one of the great sci-fi movies of my youth. And so I was very, very excited to receive that, and the pillows are nice too. But don't mistake that for the Space Family Robinson or whatever it's called. That's Robbie the Robot from Forbidden Planet. And if you've never seen Forbidden Planet, you should get onto Amazon Prime or whatever and go watch it, because it remains one of the great sci-fi movies. Monsters from the id. What a concept. Okay, so all that having been said, I thank Melissa for those gifts, and here is Shenandoah. Shenandoah, traditional tune, I believe. I don't think there's a name attached to writing it. If there is, it's probably at least out of copyright. So let's see who I'm missing here. I think I said hi to pretty much everybody who has put their name up here. Linda Pasqua Blaze, did I say hi to you? And Bunny is here, Bunny Barnes. She has a live gig today. She's getting things together. She'll be able to do live streams again this week, I think. Alrighty, so let's just keep moving on here. So the next one up is requested by Carol Pred, who often requests jazz standards, but also loves this tune. And this is by Warren Zevon. I can't remember whether I play it with a flat pick or my fingers, so we'll do the flat pick. She tells him she thinks she needs to be free. He tells her he doesn't understand. She takes his hand. She tells him nothing's working out the way she planned. She's so many women, he can't find the one who was his friend. So he's hanging on to half a heart, but he can't have the restless part. So he tells her to hasten down the wind. He says she's right, she needs to be free. But now she says she'd rather stay with him. But it's just a whim by which she hopes to keep him hanging from a limb. She's so many women, he can't find the one who was his friend. So he's hanging on to half a heart, but he can't have the restless part. So he tells her to hasten down the wind. She's so many women, he can't find the one who was his friend. So he's hanging on to half a heart, but he can't have the restless part. So he tells her to hasten down the wind. Hasten Down the Wind by the late, great Warren Zevon. What a great iconoclastic songwriter. Iconic and iconoclastic he was. And I see Dave Mason is here. Yes, we have changed our clocks here, buddy. Sharon Lee is here, my good friend Peter Zerblis. And let me just scroll down here for a minute. I think most of you I've already said hi to. Charlie the dog is being surprisingly sedate here. Before the concert today, Charlie was doing a big time, antler chewing. He has a little deer antler, which I bought him months ago. And I must admit that that it has been as advertised. Months later, he still has not been able to destroy it. Hey, Bob Claymeyer is here. Now, Bob Claymeyer is here on YouTube. He's a guy who I knew in Eastway dormitory my very first year at Kent State, and he was a guitar player. And if the things I do and don't remember, I think he had a Gibson ES 335, which I drooled over, and he's still out there playing music out down there in Ohio. So good to see you, Bob. When his name showed up on my feed a while back, I thought, nah, could that be the same Bob Claymeyer? Nah, couldn't be. And then it was, so it was cool. So it's announcement time. There is, as always, the PayPal link right below my index finger there, and the Venmo link if you'd like to contribute something to the ongoing nuts and bolts of keeping this thing going. We appreciate it. And Bob Claymeyer says, yes, I did, and you did, about the ES 335. I didn't have electric guitars then, but I still liked them. I think my friend Kendall Stoffer out there in Ohio also played an ES 335 at that time. Either him or Mike Chandler. They were young. They were a year younger than me, and they played in rock and roll bands while I was being a repressed folk singer. So the Invisibles are Kit Serikaku and Joel Baget and Judith Fox and George Young and Mario Prue. And any other Invisibles, I apologize for not being able to greet you. So that's that part. I don't have too much to say. I've been listening to, I think I talked to you about this. I've been reading this book about Bob Dylan called Pledging My Time, which is actually, all the books I read over the years, because I used to be a real, I'm a big Dylan fan. And all those books are people looking at him from the outside and theorizing about why he did what and all this different stuff about him. But they were all like pundits who were just like picking through his trash and trying to figure out who he was. And this book is not that. This book is a guy who interviewed all the people who actually worked with Dylan, played in his bands, were on his crews. And I think it paints a very multifaceted picture of a very multifaceted human being. So I've been really interested in it. And one of the things I found interesting is Dylan is not considered the greatest guitar player in the world. And, he can, but he's been playing the guitar for 70 years or whatever. And he's got a lot of chops, But one of the things when he went from like finger picking and playing actual arrangements like that to just kind of strumming the guitar, I kind of lost interest in his guitar skills. But it's interesting that I think one of the drummers who played with him wrote a thing about how when Dylan would play like 3 or 4 tunes during a set where it was just him and the guitar, he just said it was so beautiful the way he played rhythm guitar. And I got to thinking that one of the things I have kind of avoided is just doing that, is just having a really good strum. And I still can't do it really well. It's like funny. It's kind of the simplest way of playing guitar, but it's also one of the most nuanced, And I have a friend, Rod McDonald, who's a great singer-songwriter. Used to be in Greenwich Village and now lives down in Delray Beach, Florida. And Rod really has that thing down. He plays great rhythm guitar with just strumming stuff, and I can't. But there you go. So I spent last night standing around with my guitar on a strap, just playing through some of these songs, trying to get a nice, solid. And I'm going to keep working on it because I think it has a little more groove to it than a lot of the stuff I do. So I think that's it. Today I am on. Monday I don't know. Tuesday Cozy Sheridan is planning to do a live stream. She's out in Moab, but she bought herself a new USB mic and she tested it out. And I assume she will be on 10:30 Eastern time, which means for her it'll be 8:30. And Eastern Daylight Time. So check out that, 10:30 Cozy Sheridan on Tuesday, and then I'll be back at Wednesday at 3. And so that is, I believe, all my announcements. If I think of anything else, I will tell you about it in the near future. So next up, I thought, I was looking at what to do, and actually with all this Bob Dylan stuff, I almost was going to do Blowin' in the Wind, but I might save that for another day, because I looked at the set list and there was no blues, so I figure. So I looked back through all my 5 or 6 real straight ahead blueses, and this is one I hadn't done in 3 months or so I could do it now. It's a Robert Johnson song filtered through John Renbourn and then through me and whatever. Now the woman I love, I stole from my best friend. That joker got lucky, stole her back again. You better come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outside. Now the woman I love, she rode that southbound train. She's a married woman, love her just the same. You'd better come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outside. All through the spring, all through the fall, just sitting here thinking about my all in all. You'd better come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outside. Now when a woman get in trouble, there's no one wants her around. She'd be looking for a good friend, no one can be found. You'd better come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outside. Now the woman I love, I stole from my best friend. That joker got lucky, stole her back again. You'd better come on in my kitchen. 'Cause it's bound to be raining outside. Yeah. Come On in My Kitchen by Robert Johnson. I don't see anybody else new. I think we've got our crew is here, and it's a good crew, so I've got no complaints about that. Now, this next one was requested by Linda Worster, and it's an old chestnut from the Chet. It's a Chetnut from the Chet Atkins repertoire, written by J.D. Loudermilk for Chet to try to get him to play a jazzy tune. It's called Windy and Warm. Loosen this. That's Windy and Warm by J.D. Loudermilk. And the version a lot of us learned was by Doc Watson. Doc Watson learned it off the Chet Atkins version, I assume. And Doc could pick. He could flat pick, he could finger pick, he could play banjo, he could play mouth harp. Doc had it all. He was the full package, and he could sing like crazy too. Beautiful voice. So I have one more for you here, and this was a request from Kit Serikaku, who is off there sleeping on Oahu somewhere probably. But this is another old favorite, and It's a lesson too late for the learning, made of sand, made of sand. In the wink of an eye, my soul is turning in your hand, in your hand. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? Well, I could have loved you better, I didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. You've got reasons aplenty for going, this I know, this I know. For the weeds have been steadily growing. Please don't go. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, I didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. As we walk, all my thoughts are a-tumbling round and round, round and round. Underneath our feet the subway is a-rumbling underground, underground. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. As I lie in my bed in the morning, without you, without you. Every song in my breast light eyes are mourning, without you, without you. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? Well, I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? Could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. So that's the last thing on my mind, written by Tom Paxton. And I actually, Bunny wrote Nice Variation. My buddy Danny Gotham used to play behind Tom Paxton when Tom would come down through North Carolina. And I'm not sure if Tom changed this progression or if this is just Danny's thing, but I stole it off of Danny, where it goes, instead of will there be not a trace left behind? Danny does, will there be not a trace left behind? Which I thought was way cool, so I stole it. Arrest me, sue me. Anyhow, thank you so much for joining me yet again. We've made it through another Sunday morning concert here. Charlie the dog is waiting to go to the park, and that probably will happen in the next half hour or so. So I thank you all for joining me, and I think I'll do a Bob Dylan strumming mantra today. Badly. I'm going to do it really badly. Be happy and be healthy. Be brave and be calm. Be kind. It's a snap. And if you get cranky, take a nap. So thanks again for joining me. I'll hope to see you guys on Wednesday. Check out Cozy on Tuesday morning at 10:30. And bye-bye.